Okay, this is Joyce Williams, and I read a book, A to Z Mysteries of the Goose is Gold by Ron Orr. So this book is about Dink, Josh, and Ruth Rose. They go to Ruth Rose's grandmother, and they're at the airport right now waiting for Ruth Rose's grand to pick them up. And so Dink goes and calls his mom at the telephone, and he hears a guy next to him at the telephone, and talking about like bad stuff, like he's gonna sink the goose and stuff. And so Josh thinks he's talking about something bad, and he has an eagle tattoo on his ankle. And so the first day that they get to Ruth Rose's grandmother's house, they eat breakfast and go out and explore. After a long day at the beach, they walk the dock and see all the big boats. And then they see this nice man, Chip and Striker. And then he said they dived for treasure, and that he found some Spanish coins. And so they say goodbye, they go back, then the next day and then they get on the shuttle, and then the bus driver is so nice and gives them a map, and then they go to this treasury treasury museum. And so they see a lot of stuff. 45 minutes later, the shuttle comes back by. They go back to Rose's grandmother. Then the second day, they see if Chip's home, but he's not. Chip and Striker are home, but he's not. And so they all play at the beach. The next day, Dink says something to Josh Gran says something to Josh, Ruth Rose, and Dink. He says that I have a big meeting tonight with a couple of sailors. Will you help me get ready? And they said sure. They set out some tables and all that stuff. It turns out that Striker and Chip are the sailors. So they come into the house. They tell about their job and stuff, and then they go, and then the next day Josh says to Ruth Rose Dink says to Ruth Rose and Josh, I think Striker is the guy that I heard talking on the phone at the airport. And they're like, don't be silly, stop being silly, Josh. And he says, no, I'm serious. So they go to find out if Striker has a eagle tattoo on his ankle. And so it figures out that that they went home, and so so then they go and they get on the ship to see all the stuff that they have. But it turns out that they get locked in the bathroom. Not locked, but they lock themselves they shut the door because like Chip and Striker got home and they didn't want them to know. So a few seconds later, they start sailing off, and Ruth Rose and Josh and Dink are like, oh, what do we do? And they're like, we should just go up. And Dink and Josh is like, no. And then so it takes off. Dink found the trap door, and they go down there. They found some life jackets. They put them on, and then they hear Striker and Chip coming down. Oh no, they thought. And then apparently Striker was the one who had the tattoo, so then like he said, "Oh, we're gonna crash his boat," and then Chip says, "I'm sort of gonna miss the bathtub," and then so Josh and Ruth Rose and Dink are like, "Oh no, what do we do?" And so they hear axe chopping down the wood, and the golden goose, that's the name of the boat. I mean, goose is gold. And so they they go and they chop it down, and they just jump out of the boat, everybody. And then Coast Guard finds the 3 kids sitting in the middle of the ocean bobbing. And then excuse me. Then the Coast Guard finds them. They tells them about what they do, and then Glenn comes. They have a nice dinner. Then Glenn says that y'all get a surprise, get a treat, and they're like, "What is it?" And it's like they get to come back for summer, and Glenn tells them that there are a lot of that those Spanish coins were stolen from that Spanish museum. Then so they get to come back for summer vacation. So